Human error, 50 to 60% of crashes. This accounts for more than half of all aviation accidents. We're talking about pilots, crew, ground staff. Anyone can make a critical mistake. Maybe it's miscommunication, poor judgment, or just being tired and missing something on the checklist. When you're managing complex systems at 30,000 feet, even small errors can have huge consequences. Mechanical failure, 15 to 20% of crashes. Mechanical failures are what most people imagine when they think of crashes. Engines exploding, hydraulics failing, something breaking mid-flight. The good news is these are becoming much rarer thanks to better technology and maintenance. Modern planes have backup systems for almost everything, but when they do happen, they can be catastrophic. Weather conditions. Weather is unpredictable and accounts for about 10–12% of crashes. Severe storms, dangerous icing, crazy turbulence, or zero visibility can all be deadly. The tricky part, weather rarely causes crashes alone. It's usually weather plus human error. A pilot might try to land in dangerous conditions or get surprised by sudden weather changes like microbursts. Controlled flight into terrain, 7 to 8% of crashes. CFIT, when a perfectly working airplane is accidentally flown into the ground, mountains, or water. The plane isn't broken, the crew is fine, they just don't realize where they are. Usually happens because of navigation errors or spatial disorientation. Modern warning systems help, but it still happens when pilots get confused about their location or altitude. Sabotage or terrorism, 5% of crashes. Deliberate acts like bombings, hijackings, or malicious interference. These get a lot of attention because they're intentional. Airport security, reinforced cockpit doors, and air marshals have made these much rarer. When they do happen, they're devastating and highly publicized, making flying feel more dangerous than it actually is. Air traffic control errors, 3 to 4% of crashes. Air traffic controllers manage dozens of aircraft at once, making split-second decisions. Occasionally, mistakes happen, like giving two planes clearance for the same runway, or failing to maintain proper separation. Sometimes it's just miscommunication. Modern computer systems help detect conflicts, but it still relies on human judgment. Mid-air collisions, 1 to 2% of crashes. Two aircraft hitting each other in flight. Incredibly rare thanks to radar systems, strict flight paths, and TCAS, Traffic Collision Avoidance System, that warns pilots when another aircraft is too close. When they do happen, it's usually because multiple safety systems failed at once. Bird strikes, 1% of crashes. Birds hitting aircraft, especially during takeoff and landing. Most bird strikes are minor, but they can be serious, like the famous Miracle on the Hudson, where birds took out both engines. Airports use various methods to keep birds away, from trained falcons to loud noises. Fuel exhaustion or mismanagement, less than 1%. Running out of fuel due to poor planning, leaks, or faulty gauges. Once you're out of fuel, you're flying a very heavy glider with one chance to land. Modern aircraft have multiple fuel monitoring systems, making this very rare, but it still happens occasionally. Instrument or avionics failure, less than 1%. When the aircraft's sophisticated instruments and computers fail, pilots can become disoriented or make wrong decisions. Aircraft have backup systems, and pilots trained to fly with basic instruments, but losing your navigation systems in bad weather or at night can be incredibly dangerous. Icing, less than 1%. Ice buildup on wings changes their shape and reduces lift. It can also clog engine intakes or freeze control surfaces. Modern aircraft have de-icing systems, and pilots are trained to handle icing. But ice can form faster than you would expect and looks harmless while being deadly. Improper maintenance, less than 1%. Aircraft maintenance is incredibly rigorous, but occasionally something gets missed or done incorrectly. Maybe a panel isn't securely properly, or the wrong part is installed. The aviation industry has learned from these mistakes and improved quality control, but maintenance errors can still be catastrophic. Weight and balance miscalculation, less than 1%. Every aircraft has limits on weight and weight distribution. If the plane is too heavy or the weight is positioned wrong, it can become uncontrollable. This usually happens during loading, when cargo isn't secured correctly or calculations are wrong. Modern systems and strict procedures make this very rare. Cargo shifts or explosions. less than 1%. When heavy cargo isn't properly secured, it can shift during flight and make the aircraft uncontrollable. Sometimes hazardous materials are shipped without proper documentation. This is why there are strict rules about luggage contents and cargo handling. Volcanic ash ingestion. Very rare. Volcanic ash can literally sandblast engine components and cause them to fail. The problem is, ash clouds can be invisible, especially at night. The aviation industry now has better systems for tracking volcanic ash and routing aircraft around dangerous areas as this threat grows. Lightning strikes. Extremely rare. Modern planes are designed to handle lightning strikes. The aircraft acts like a Faraday cage. Electricity flows around the outside without affecting the inside. Most strikes cause little damage, maybe some scorch marks. The bigger concern is temporary pilot blindness from the flash. Drone collisions. Emerging threat. This is a new category as drones become more popular. Most collisions are minor, but drones can cause damage if they get sucked into engines. The aviation industry is developing better systems for tracking drones and keeping them away from aircraft as this threat grows. So, there you have it. Every major reason why planes crash. The most important thing to remember is that flying is still incredibly safe. The aviation industry has learned from every single accident and made changes to prevent them from happening again.